TIFU. I agreed to model for a friend's art class and was absolutely humiliated. When I first moved to this city I was poor and struggling to make ends meet. I had started a new industry at an entry-level position. I waited tables on the side and had a lot of bills to pay off. I had just broken up with an ex-boyfriend and filled my time with my career. While working one morning, one of my coworkers, Jed, mentioned that he taught a photography class at night called Booze and Click. Jed is in his 60s, is very kind and hysterical. He was panicking because that night he had a ton of new clients, donors coming, and this was his chance to get the word out. But his model backed out. He couldn't find a replacement. I asked what he needed. He explained that a huge group of adults were coming to practice their boudoir photography skills and drink alcohol. It was fun and informative, he said. But he needed a model to be dressed in lingerie to pose for 2 hours while he instructed others to take photos. There would be some nudity involved. I asked if it was paid. He said of course. I desperately needed the money, so I said fuck it, I'm in. It was immediately after work, so I would need to go straight there. I agreed. The one issue in the back of my mind was because of my self-imposed, being single, I hadn't shaved in 2 months. I kept my legs and armpits shaved because it was summer, but my privates, it looked like it was the 1970s. But I figured if it was lingerie it would fine. Work ended and I went straight to the photography lab. There were many cars parked in the front already. Jed came to greet me and quickly guided me to the changing room. He showed me a wall of clothing I could wear, explained I would walk out in a robe, take it off, he'd walk me through the poses and then I'd be done. He was so nervous it made me feel more nervous. He left and I quickly stripped and pulled a black lacy bra, a see-through black panty with a cute little back, a garter and a pair of heels in my side. He had a great collection sized out and it was easy to find what I needed. I looked in the mirror pretty hot if I did say so myself. I strolled out into a very dark room with a brightly lit set that was dressed like a bedroom. I saw a huge group of people watching but couldn't make out faces outside the bright lights. As I walked in I received a polite smattering of applause. I stepped onto the set and removed the robe, handing it to Jed. It was a very weird feeling to be standing in front of faceless strangers in underwear, but Jed quickly started his lesson. Time flew as he had me take very basic poses and he would dart in, take photos, explain to the group what he was doing and step out as other students of his would step up and take photos. Let's just say I felt pretty hot and pretty comfortable. So when Jed asked me to remove my bra, I didn't hesitate. I dropped my bra in front of everyone. The poses started to get sexier. Then he asked me to take my bottoms off. I froze. I saw his anxious face step into the light and guilt gripped me. Without thinking I unclipped the garter and dropped my panties in one go. There was an actual gasp in the room. My bush was sizable. I felt immediately self-conscious. And nervous. But I was in too far. It's not like I was going on a date with anyone here. We moved to the bed and quickly finished the last few photos and poses as Jed showed them what to do. Handed various members his camera for them to try similar techniques in the shadows outside of the light. The last pose was me on my back, legs spread with my arms over my head. Very tasteful. Finally it was over. This time I got a huge round of applause. Feeling silly I took a dramatic bow completely naked. I put the robe on, collected my clothes and went to the back to get changed. After getting cleaned up I walked back out into the studio. The lights were on and a huge group of people mingled and drank. Jed came up and offered me a huge hug, thanking me for everything. It was a huge success and the donors he invited were on board. He said he was thankful I showed up. Then I noticed in the crowd that Matt from work was talking to another guy. I asked Jed why Matt was there and he explained that he needed a big crowd to also impress the people offering funding, so he invited a bunch of people from work too. As he walked away to say hi to others I finally really looked into the crowd. Coworkers were everywhere. Men, and a few women, who I see every day filled the room. The realization hit me. They had all seen everything. Billy the receptionist. Brad the cute electric. John with the beard. And my boss. Everywhere were people I worked with. I quickly snuck out the side. For the next year at work people would jokingly call me Little Sasquatch. A guy I hooked up with later on told me he'd been there that night and couldn't believe I had done that. He even documented on his iPhone of me posing back then. There were so many people Jed hadn't noticed. I have a long-time boyfriend now but wanted to share my most embarrassing moment and why I almost always keep myself groomed at all times. Too long did not read. Did a friend a favor that ended up showing all of my coworkers what I looked like naked. Wow. Fuck Jed for not telling you that your coworkers were coming. It's one thing to pose naked for strangers, but your boss? Dick. Fucking. Move. It's more like a, today I fucked up in thinking my coworker was my friend. Shit girl, you worried about a little hair down there? You shouldn't be embarrassed about that. It's supposed to be there. The fact that people called you little Sasquatch is fucked up. Doesn't sound like a TIFU. You owned it and F 'em if they don't like it. I went to art school. Most have a class specific to life drawing, where essentially you draw a naked model each class. I was in this class daily for a year and saw many, many different types of people. Body hair is nothing to be ashamed of, especially in the world of art. Jed not telling you about your coworkers being there is a huge issue. The most important thing in such situations is the model's comfort and respect. He broke the model's trust by doing this. Edit. Naked model not baked model. I thought this story was just gonna be dicks bitching about Bush. But damn. Flash the whole office. And got paid for it. And then the dicks bitching about Bush. Still though. Pretty funny. I get that you feel embarrasses after this, but honestly I think you should feel proud and angry. You acted very confidently and apparently also looked very sexy doing so, and the thing that embarrassed you were the guy not being clear about who your audience would be and the people not being respectful of you putting yourself out there and your body. There was an audible grasp over some untrimmed genitals? Weird. Today I fucked up by hugging my cat. So this has been culminating for a while, I guess, but it's a silly story I thought some people might enjoy. Every morning when I wake up I go straight to the bathroom to pee. My cat follows me in and demands attention. So when I am sitting on the toilet and she comes in, I pick her up and hug her for a few seconds then put her down. Lately, Cat has been wandering around the house screaming incessantly. We check her food and water. We play with her. We make sure her box is clean, all of this, and then she still walks around screaming. Sometimes when this happens she'll lead us somewhere, usually the bedroom because she wants a nap. I take a lot of naps. But lately she leads us onto the bathroom and goes and stands in front of the toilet with her back to me, and looks at me over her shoulder. We usually pick her up from behind because it's easier and is how she comes to us when we're at our computer desks. My cat has decided that if she wants a hug from me, she has to go to the bathroom and scream until she gets one. If my husband follows her in, it is not good enough and he brings her to me so that I can hug her. Only then will she stop screaming. Too long did not read. Taught my cat that bathroom equals hugs. And now when she wants hugs she screams until somebody follows her into the bathroom, and in the end I, personally, have to hug her. ETA, forgot about cat tax, grabbed a few pics I like of her. One of my cats takes it a bit further. If you are on the toilet for more than 30 seconds, she runs in, jumps up on your lap and lays down. She has incorporated two things your cat cries for, naps and toilet hugs, into one activity. God forbid I close the bathroom door when I'm taking a poop. Think, within a minute I'll see a little cat paw sliding under the door to get my attention. They say it's hard to humans to train cats, but no one ever mentions how easy it is for cats to train humans. One of my cats has trained me to scratch her head when she's on the desk and meows and then paws at me. The other one will walk circles in front of me when he wants to jump up in my arms, also will crawl into my undies when I'm sitting on the toilet. Get her a friend. I didn't even need the pictures to know you were talking about a Siamese. Animals pick up strange behaviors sometimes, but fortunately it's usually fairly easy to modify those behaviors. Keep in mind it's far easier to change your own behaviors than theirs, however. In this case, I'd recommend not picking her up and hugging her while in the bathroom, no matter how much she screams. Clearly she's formed an association and it needs to be broken. Instead, wait until you exit the bathroom, lead her to another specific place, then pick her up and hug her. It shouldn't take too long to transfer the association to the new place. Thank God this is light-hearted. I thought something bad happened to the cat.